I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett, coaching you to work faith positive and increase your faith with greater joy at work so that you love God and others more. This week we're talking about 3 strategies to take your Jesus to work day. Jesus directed 2 of his disciples, "Go into the city. A man carrying a water jug will meet you. Follow him. Ask the owner of whichever house he enters. The teacher wants to know, where's my guest room where I can eat the Passover meal with my disciples? He'll show you a spacious second-story room swept and ready. Prepare for us there." That's Mark 14, verses 13 through 15. You know, since I'm daddy to 2 daughters, I enjoyed the annual Take Your Daughter to Work Day when they were still living at home. After moving away, one daughter even continued the tradition by writing and voicing my syndicated radio show for that particular week. Well, if you take your faith seriously at work, every day can be Take Your Jesus to Work Day. Most of us read this passage I shared with you from Mark, and we marvel at the faith of the disciples to go and do what Jesus asked. Follow the water bearer to a house, ask the homeowner, where's our Passover room? Sure, you have to trust Jesus to follow someone you don't know and ask a presumptuous question of a perfect stranger about using his guest room. And yet, what if you considered this passage from the perspective of the water bearer and the homeowner? What's your reaction when someone you don't know stalks you at work? Do you get a little uncomfortable? What's your reaction if that same someone comes to the counter or your cubicle and wants to know, where's my room? How fast can you dial 911, right? Evidently, the water bearer and the homeowner took their faith to work as much or even more than the disciples did. So, learning from their experience, here are 3 strategies for you to take Jesus to work with you, just like the water bearer and the homeowner. First of all, at work, expect Jesus. Mark records no questions whatsoever from the homeowner like, okay, who's your teacher? And what business does he have eating the Passover meal in my guest room? Maybe he recognized the disciples from a recent nearby healing experience or something like that. Or maybe he was spiritually sensitive enough to hear behind the request for a room. Perhaps he looked for God to show up at work on a daily basis. He expected Jesus to be present in his workplace. So what about you? Do you expect Jesus to walk through the doors of your business on any given day? How will you recognize him? If he asks for something, will he get it? You take your Jesus to work when you expect him to show up. Secondly, engage Jesus. The author of Hebrews writes about entertaining angels unawares. What if the same were true about Jesus? As you expect Jesus to show up at work, how does that transform the way you interact with customers or your teammates? Would you engage Jesus differently than you would another first-time customer? Would you roll out the red carpet, whatever Jesus wants, he gets? That first-time customer could be Jesus in disguise, you know. You take your Jesus to work when you engage others just like you would Jesus. Thirdly, you entertain Jesus. Mark says the disciples asked for a guest room and that it would be a spacious second-story room swept and ready. Ready for what? Entertaining guests, of course. If you expect to engage Jesus at work, you're ready to entertain him, to see to his needs, to care for his comfort. You provide hospitality. So if I interviewed some of your customers, your team members, and I asked them, how hospitable is he? How much does she entertain you? How would they rate you? Would they say you're highly hospitable or very irritable? To increase your faith with greater joy at work so you love God and others more, expect Jesus to show up at any moment. Engage every single person as if they're Jesus. Entertain customers and teammates alike, just like you would the Savior of the universe. Work faith positive in this negative world. Coaching you to work faith positive, increase your faith with greater joy at work so that you love God and others more. I'm Dr. Joey Fawcett.
Discover your free Faith Positive coaching program, Be Still and Know, at getpositive.today/faith-positive.